All right, hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's doing well. And for those of you who were affected by, or is still, I know in some places they are still experiencing extreme cold weather. So for those of you who are in that region, hope you are doing well and trying to stay warm and all that good stuff. But I wanted to hop on for a weekly, I think I missed last week, I'm not sure, for a weekly conversation about marketing, sales funnels. And I know that I've connected with quite a few new people here. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me double check if you can hear me. I think you should be able to, because I'd hate to be like talking and then, yes, okay. So generally, the goal is to do at least one live per week, pretty consistently. In terms of like the timing, I'm still trying to figure that out. But anyhow, we're here now, so we're just going to roll with the punches. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how your content. Sometimes people think that, you know, I'll take a step back. Sometimes I have conversations with people and business owners, and I know a few people have recently followed me here on Facebook, so hello to you. We talk about sales and marketing and all that good stuff over this side of Facebook, but nonetheless. So sometimes I have these conversations with people around marketing their business. So like, okay, what can I do to generate more sales? And I'm like, okay, what is it that you're currently doing? And I would go on a limb and say, like 9 times out of 10, I get a variation of something like, well, I post on social media. I'm like, okay, that's great. Posting on social media in and of itself isn't marketing. That's distribution, right? So when I think of marketing, or when you really think about marketing taps into a strategy. It has an understanding of who it is that you're selling to. What are some of the challenges that person is experiencing, and ensuring that your marketing message relays that very clearly, right? And if you're just posting for the sake of posting, that's to your detriment. That's not actually helping you. So the 3 things that I want you to challenge you and really challenge you to look at how you're marketing your business and see where it is that you could be creating more opportunities for there to be conversions, right? And I strongly believe that if you do these things, and I've seen these things actually work, not only for myself, but for the clients that I serve as well. So there's 3 things that I want you to look at. Let me just pull up my notes so that I don't go, I could talk about this stuff all day. But the first thing is to really understand who your community is. And I know this is such a buzzword because you're like, yeah, tap into community. Community is my thing, it's my vibe, and all the things and all the variations of that, and that's fantastic. But ultimately, like the people who you've cultivated a relationship with, there's a level of trust with, those are the people who are in your community, right? And those people, they have a shared language, right? So there's something that you've said and something that they're experiencing that there's a connection with. There's some kind of shared language across the board when it comes on to this, right? So when you're creating content for your community, you want to ensure that your content reads something like, this is exactly what I'm feeling, this is exactly what I'm dealing with, and this is the space for people like me, right? So when you're cultivating community, those are the things that you need to be able to clearly communicate. And if you don't communicate that, you're just going to find yourself aimlessly just throwing a whole bunch of content out there, hoping that something's going to stick. And that is to your detriment, right? So you build community by naming what they're already experiencing. And it's not about teaching it harder or, you know, overwhelming them with more content or over-explaining things. It's about speaking specifically to the problem that they're experiencing. And remember, I said that when someone reads your content, they should think that this is exactly what I'm dealing with, and this is a space for people like me. And if you're able to master that, then you're going to have content that converts. And even here's the thing, you could be doing this and the content, you're not seeing the engagement in terms of like the vanity metrics, like maybe people aren't liking it, but they may be saving it, or they may be watching this, right? Where they're like, okay, you know what, I can relate to this, and this may require them to take an action that may not be as visible, right? So that could be that they you know, like they decide that they're going to continue to engage in content that you are creating. But one of the things that that's going to allow for you to continue this conversation, right? Just think of like marketing as this ongoing conversation, is to look at the content that you create and how that content can continue to have the conversation, right? So good engagement helps someone see their situation more clearly. So that's plain and simple as it is, right? And it organizes what they already know is wrong, and it shapes the problem that they're experiencing. So if your content is positioned well, then it's very logical what the next step is, and it doesn't feel like a risk, it doesn't feel like a stretch, it doesn't feel uncomfortable, it just feels very natural. And that's what engaging content should do. So if you're creating content on social media, you're not just posting for the sake of posting, right? Because posting for the sake of posting is simply distribution. That's not marketing. So there should be some continuity. There should be a way to continue this conversation. And this conversation happens in your sales funnel, right? So with that being said, it needs to promote action, and it needs to promote this conversation. And this conversation is going to ultimately lead to this conversion. So engagement only matters if it leads to action. You want people to do something. You want there to be a series of steps that people take that ultimately make buying from you really easy. Like if they feel like they have to make a big step from the jump, people are going to be a little bit hesitant, right? So what you need to do is you need to ensure that the action that people are taking aligns with what they already want, and aligns with what they believe to be true, or even challenges what they believe to be true, right? So this means that the action needs to feel necessary. The action cannot feel optional. It can't feel random. It has to feel very natural. It needs to feel necessary. It needs to make sense that this is what I need to do next. And this is a natural continuation of the conversation that you're having in your marketing. So if you really think about, okay, how can I make my content convert more? Or how can I make my content actually convert? These are some things that you need to think about. But within each of these things, you need to master the conversation that they're having, understanding their mindset and what happens when they engage in certain types of content and information. And if you're finding that you're getting a lot of clicks on your website, people are clicking through, your conversion rates are really low, and you're like, okay, what's happening? I'm actually hosting a free live sales funnel review. So if you're interested in seeing what's happening in your sales funnel, where I will be able to take a look at it for you, you come to this live session, and you share with me what is happening in your sales funnel, or open your back end, whatever the case is. Tell me what's happening, and I'll be able to give you live feedback as to what it is that you need to do to course correct this, make some changes, and then and test it again to see how it is it's going to allow for you to improve your conversion rate. So if that's something that's of interest to you, then definitely join us. I'll ensure that I put the link. Let me go ahead and put the link right now in the comment section. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and secure your spot. It's going to be on Saturday, February 7th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to join us, let me grab the link here. I'll put the link here in the comment section. But yeah, just really think about how it is that you are showing up, what kind of content you're creating. Is this content a continual conversation? And if it's not a continual conversation, then you're ultimately missing out on an opportunity for there to be sales, right? It's not just about, like I said, throwing a whole bunch of information out there and hoping that something's going to stick. Like that's not strategic. That's going to actually drive you up a wall, and you're going to get highly frustrated. So you want to be very strategic in the conversation that you're having and ensuring that this conversation is continual. So let's put the link here. And if you have any questions about this this live sales funnel review, feel free to shoot me a message here on Facebook, but pretty much all the information about what we're going to be covering on this live sales funnel review is on the page. So if you have any questions, of course, you can also leave them in the comment section as well. And I will see you very soon. Bye for now.